All right, man, I'm gonna run through this pretty quickly for you. This is the main screen when you open up your app. You can add a new project or select from one of your old projects here. You have your account information, which you can log out. You can check your subscription, restore purchases. This will show you your cloud storage because we are cloud-based. So in case you lose any information or you lose your iPad and you need to get a new one, you're not gonna lose all your stencils or all your projects. It's all saved within the cloud. And you actually pay for that with your subscription. Go back here. There's your archived projects. If you want to archive a project, you can throw it in there for whatever reason. Get out of there, sorry. At the bottom here, you have home, clients, calendar, and settings. Your clients right here, client list, you can add new clients by adding this. You can put their name, their phone number, their email details, and all their skin tone. This is actually cool because we're developing a client portal app like Booksy and Square Appointments where you'll be able to give to your clients and they'll be able to ask a couple questions, answer a couple questions, fill out a form, whatever it may be, send you a request to book a tattoo, or if you allow them to, they can book a tattoo right from there. And then you can go back here into calendar and that'll show you where all the appointments are when you set them. This is really basic. It will be updated in the future once the client app is all set up. And this is your settings tab. This will show you all the brands of ink that we offer. And you can go into them, click on them, say that you have them. Oh, we don't have any set. So you can click on any brand that you want if you own that brand. Or you can click on the settings and you can actually toggle on and off what colors you own within that set. If you like, I like to keep the full set on just because it gives you more range when you're actually using the product. All right, so let's go home now. We pick any project, start a new one, name it, Ink Maps. We can add a client in here, name him Jake. Phone number, email, and then set a skin tone. You can add that in there. Client description or tattoo description, quoted price, 15, 500, whatever it may be. And you can put your start date in there. Add the project, new project screen comes up. Here at the top, I work it from left to right, going back. Add an image into the project, right there. And then I can add a new image. There's your settings tab right in the side of it. All the inks again, and you can click at the settings tab right there, and it'll bring you back to the screen if you like. You can add in what inks you have, all right? And then let's add an image in here from my gallery. Add this one, I just created that. Awesome. So now the next button over would be dominant colors, all right? You can click the number at the top and you can set how many dominant colors the image reads. And this will give you a quick automatic readout of the colors that are being in the image, okay? You can click on these and you can add it in there. This little toolbar dialog box comes up. So this dialog box is cool. This ink, this top toolbar right here is the color that you've selected on the image. And this is the closest ink that you have to match that. That way you can quick compare the two colors. These are your color options. That'll send it to the color wheel. This will mix it. That will also mix it. That'll show you color properties and that will compare brands. And we'll get to that a little bit later. You can add in and it'll add it to your palette box over here. Okay. Now you can also, instead of using this, you can get rid of this and you can click anywhere on the image and this toolbar will come up at the bottom. This is first place, second place, third place. And you can click that and the ink dialog box will come up again and you can add that to your palette as well. So now in the palette box, you can click on this little button and you can make a new group. If you wanted to say fire, say that's all for the fire right there. We set it as fire. Add the group, and then we can click another one, add that yellow. I like that yellow, right? Add that to fire, right? And then it goes into that. And you can have Freddy Krueger's face, new group. You could have Elm Street, a new group. You could have Chucky, a new group. That way you're separating your palettes by pieces. What's cool about this is you can also click this button right here and export your palette to Procreate or Photoshop, and you can edit the project, add ink by name and add to a new group. But this is what's cool is that you can export those colors right to your drawing program and use that if you'd like. So let's move on here. The toolbar right at the top, right? Moving on. When you click that, you can posterize or go to a skin tone mode. Posterizing, will do exactly what it tells you to do, and you can set the different levels at the top, and it will break down the image into clear, defined, isolated value groups or hue groups. And this really helps with realism artists to tell everybody where everything sits at. Go back over here into the toolbar and you can hit skin tones. This is cool, and this is kind of in beta. We're working on this further. We're actually in contact with a scientist. His name is Dr. Ernst, and he works through the aging process of tattoos over time and how ink reacts into different skin tones. And we're getting a lot of our information through him and talking to him. So you can set your skin tone up here, and it will filter the skin tone over your image to give you a predictive result of what it may look like in that skin tone. And you can set the years as well, and this will be a little bit bigger. Like I said, we're still working on this, and you can slide to show you different ages. Like that would be 4 years aging, and it'll show you how much more washed out it will become. All right, and that you can always go back pressing that button to the main screen. So this is the toolbar. There's ink selector, posterize, and skin tones. Moving on to the middle, you can actually change the size of your picker if you wanted, to show you a more what the picker does is it averages each side of this circle and gives you an average of what the hue is all together. So I can change the size of that and get a more accurate result or a more broadened result to give you an overall value group or hue group. You can bring this back to the picker size here, and next toolbar would be your stencils. So I got 4 different stencil mode: noise stencil, photocopy, black and gray, and stencil. These two are the really messy stencils that you see a lot of. Black and gray is just grayscaling it, allowing you to print from certain stencil printers like the Brother printer and give you a value stencil. And hand stencil is just what it says. It's just like putting a tracing paper over the image and being able to trace it. We actually have Streamline. I'll start there. We have Streamline on this, just like Procreate, and we're actually going to build this into a drawing program over time. But you press this little down here and you can add the Streamline, get rid of the pressure, whatever you want to do. We have layers. Right now you're in a separate drawing layer, and there's the pencil, there's the eraser. Here's your opacity, so you can lower the opacity of the image to see what the lines are doing, for instance. Okay, you can save the image to your project or to your phone or device, and this will print it. What's cool about printing is that you can change it to 4 pages or 9 pages if you wanted to make this small stencil the size of a back piece. So you click that and it'll put this one image on 4 separate pieces of paper so you can do a larger stencil. And you got all the different stencil options here. You can flip it, you can scale it, etc. All right, let's go back to noise stencil. Noise stencil is what we see a lot of these days. It's pretty messy. We can upscale it by pressing this button right here. And it'll take a little bit longer when you upscale the image just because it's reading more information. And like I said, everything's cloud-based, so it works off the internet. And you can slide the detail bar around and it'll give you more detail or less detail, whatever you want. But I mean, as you can see, it's a pretty solid stencil to be able to use. I use stencils like that. That's what I tattoo with. And I got a more clean version, which is the photocopy stencil, which is something like you can create on Procreate, which gives you less noise and more of the actual image. Some people like that better. It's just all preference. I figured I'd add it in there for versatility. And then black and gray, like I said, it just turns it into a black and gray image, and you can change the exposure. All the toolbars and adjustments will usually be up here or at the bottom. All the stencil modes allow you to draw on them and erase things on them, so you can get rid of certain things, especially in the noise stencil, that you may not like. So you can go down here, make sure you're on the right layer, and you can actually erase stuff if you wanted to. All right, we'll go back. Now from here, you go into the color options. Color options has got a color wheel, just like Russ Abbott's color wheel. I'll start at the top. You can go back, top right-hand corner, masquerade. That is adding in the skin tones to show you what it'll look like overall. You can pick your colors really easy that way, see what happens. You can turn it to darker skin, and you can really see which colors work better on darker skin and which ones really don't, which is super, super useful. And then you can change your ink brand, whatever you want. Kurosumi Dynamic, I've done it for all these different ink brands. You can use your ink collection or you can set it to whatever you have here. And you can actually click on those and add them to your palette as well. At the bottom here, we have gamut masks, which you can put over and then change, so you can quick pick different palettes that you like if you just want to paint with it and you don't want to just use the ink selector mode, and choose your own colors. Go back here. Next color mode, color harmony. You can click whatever color you want, add it in there, and it'll show you what the complementary color is. Monochromatic, analogous palette, split palette, triadic, tetriadic. It shows you everything. It just gives you a harmonious palette with the color you selected. And you can change the color wherever. You can add these colors to your palette, etc., etc. Come over here again. You got Simple Mixer and Master Mixer. Simple Mixer is pick a color, wherever you want, and it'll show you what 2 colors you need from the base set or the entire catalog to make those. Standard colors, these 2 will make closest to that color. If you have the entire catalog, you can switch it and get a more accurate result. And that works with all the brands. Just click it, click the color, and it'll show you what 2 you need from the entire set or the primary color kit, closest to it. Master Mixer. Tint Tone Shade. You can add these on by toggling this right there. And you can add the parts more white. You can add more gray. You can add more black if you want. You can actually darken the gray too and lighten the gray by adding that. It adds black to that. And then you can add 3 hues, whichever 3 hues you like. And you can add the parts there. Add more parts here. And it'll give you a result of all these colors mixed by that part right here. You can click on that and it'll show you a quick pick of which one matches the closest to that color, rather than mixing all those together. See if you had something closest to it, right? Or you can actually add that mixture. So this is all the mixes and all the colors that you use to make that mixture, and you can edit the name, be like skin tone mixture, whatever it may be, and you can add it to your palette. When you go to palette, it'll show it separately. It'll say skin. When you click it, it'll show you what you made to mix that. All right, moving on. Color properties, whatever color you select, it will show you your tint tone shade. Like again, you can add black to this, you can add white to this, whatever it may be, and you can get different colors on a tint tone shade basis. Complementary, you can add gray into it, you can make the gray darker. See what happens when you mix it. Click that and it'll show you what is the closest ink to use. Same here, show you what the closest ink to use. That's probably too dark, that's why it's reading black. Right there. Bang. And it'll show you what color, and you can press this and it'll show you what you made to mix that. And this is a really useful tool. And then you have compare brands. So you click any color you select, it'll show you what the closest color and all the different brands are. And after that, oh, went too far back. After that, you can get rid of your palette here and you can click reference mode. Reference mode allows you to spin it, turn it, do whatever you want to it. Get close in, etc.